Okay, first things first. Whoever came up with this title needs to be punched. Secondly, doesn't this look like the dumbest thing in the world? A sassy psychological comedy? Oh yeah, this just drips with psychological nuance, doesn't it? It looks about as psychological as being brained by a cudgel, and probably more painful too. Who else but Central Park Media could try to release this? And when else but 1996? If you thought for one moment that there might be some kind of redemption here in this anime, the back of the box punts that notion right out of the stadium. I quote, Mai's a super counselor with blazing sex appeal who specializes in solving her clients' bedroom problems. And male clients are preferred. Obsession, compulsion, and demonic possession are no match for her special brand of shock treatment. Patients are always cured at the risk of a broken heart. So, if I understand correctly, we're about to experience a comedy, well, an attempt at comedy, about a woman who fucks her clients' problems away. Oh, we got ourselves a doozy here, ladies and gentlemen. Board up all the windows and doors you can and start hoarding bottled water, because there's a hurricane a-coming. We open on a dark and stormy night, fucking really, as we see a sickly girl in bed contracted with bitch gotta die syndrome. It's a severe case too, because no one in the land can cure her, save for one mysterious doctor.
No doctor in the world has been able to cure Kazumi of this serious illness. He is our last hope, the only one who can save her now.
Alright, knowing what's been said on the back of the box, I gotta know how Mai figures into this plot. Is she gonna, fuck this girl back to health? How does that even work? And is that covered under an HMO? I'm just asking for a friend. Alas, no, she's just hired to find the doctor they were mentioning. Even though it's not what we've been led to believe is her job description, she agrees to find him, which leads her to the red light district in Shinjuku. Oh look, she's about to approach a cabaret hawker to ask for directions. I wonder if this will lead to a misunderstanding.
Hey, Mama! We got a new girl who wants to work!
No, that's not. I'm not that kind of girl. I just want to find out.
We've got another customer, girls. Great.
Okay.
How did I get myself into this mess?
Shitty writing, sweetheart. Shitty writing. I should be more annoyed by the transparent attempts to get Mai into a hostess outfit, but it's so blatant that there's no sense in getting angry at it. It's like getting mad at the ocean because it's wet. Well, it's not long before drunk, lecherous salarymen start perving on Mai, but thankfully a really, really ridiculously good-looking man breaks it up. Too bad his voice sounds like a malfunctioning robot.
What's going on? I can't move.
Just a temporary freezing of your spinal cord.
Dr. Freeman.
I just wanted to say thank you for your help, Count.
Madam, I'm going to take this bunny for the night.
Okay, he's taking her up to the room. It's gonna look like they're fucking, but they're not. Now, cut to them not fucking. Oh, gee, golly gosh, what an interesting and not at all played out swerve. You got me, Mai. You really got me. Here's a gold star and a juice box. You certainly earned it. Now let's move on. So Mai tells Vega here that she's looking for a doctor and he offers to help, and leads her to the wisest woman in Shinjuku, and she's 10 kinds of gross and frightening.
You're looking good, Granny.
What's with this big ass?
That ass needs you, Granny.
What the fuck? This show went from as predictable as the tides to cement blocking a clothes dryer off the rails. Let's really examine this scene, shall we? Old woman creeps Mai out, and she faints backwards as evidenced by her feet sticking up in the frame. But then she's shown having fallen forward with her ass sticking up in the air. And this butt-fuck continuity has been perpetrated solely for this weird exchange.
What's with this big ass?
That ass needs you, Granny.
Never thought I'd see the day where I have to dissect a scene that involves the line, "Dad ass needs you, Granny." Wasn't like I was trying to review Blue Seed or something. Don't Google it! Granny Goodness warns Mai that her search for the elusive doctor is all for naught, since he's actually a perverted freak who'd sooner molest you than cure you. The news is meant harshly, but Vega comes in and comforts Mai. But it's not long before his secret is finally revealed.
Why didn't you tell me this from the beginning, you big tease? I'm just so happy to know that you're a nice guy after all. Huh?
Hey, babe, those tits are for me!
That's right, Vega has split personality disorder, and one of those personalities is the Doctor, who looks like if Judge Doom fucked the Grinch.
I'm Ben, Dr. Ben K. Shinobi!
When I kill your brother, I talk. Just wait!
So, after a round of good old-fashioned grab-ass, including using acupuncture needles to quote-unquote incite erogenous pleasure from her skin, Granny Goodness storms in and makes the save, explaining that his multiple personality disorder is triggered when he loses his wig. But now that Mai knows who and where the Doctor is, she takes it upon herself to cure Vega. But how to inquire about him and his condition and possible cure without raising his suspicion?
Split personalities are hard to cure. Can they be treated with acupuncture or maybe incense?
You know, that question is so dumb and so wrong that it deserves a no so epic that I could not possibly do it justice. Al, if you will. Actually, as dumb as that question was, it's still not as bad as, can a computer simulate a voice through a picture? That moment will go down in history as the single dumbest question I've ever heard in my fucking life. Eesh. But getting back to the matter at hand, where do you stick a needle in someone's body to cure them of schizophrenia anyhow? I mean, you'd imagine that logic would dictate that it would be somewhere around the head. Well, no. Not that kind of head.
It's the base of the testicles.
Huh? The base of the testicles?
Yes, the testicles.
You mean stick it?
Yes, stick it in.
Stick it in?
Pull them up and stick it in.
Stick it in?
Twist it
Twist?
all the way in.
All the way?
In the middle.
Of the base of the testicles.
Just stick it in.
Let's move on, please. Well, with a setup like stick a hot needle in his gooch, how can it not lead to Mai missing and jabbing it in his ballsack? No wonder he gets pissed off and reverts back to his Judge Grinch persona, and then proceed to attempt torturing Mai. I say attempt because he keeps inadvertently being on the receiving end of the humiliating torture, all the while Mai sounds like if Judy Garland played Brer Rabbit.
This makes even the toughest criminals confess.
I can only imagine.
This spot makes even the worst of them run away sniveling.
Oh no, anything but that.
Oh no! Please don't burn a fatty on my tramp stamp! Anything but that! Oh, but fabulous day, for it seems that Mai accidentally hit the point on Vega's body that controls hair growth, and he immediately regrows his natural hair and reverts back to normal, which means he will never be Judge Grinch again! And the day is saved. Except for that dying woman at the beginning of the episode, but who cares? Time for the next episode! As we're introduced to a new character, a rock star who's trying to dodge the paparazzi. Hey, guy, if you want to go incognito when you go outside, how about not dressing like your promotional posters that are plastered everywhere, dickhead? So, what kind of problem would a rock star like him have, you might ask? Well, he can't handle seeing or feeling a naked woman, which is the least disconcerting thing about this scene.
Now that's quite an interesting doorbell. Well, I suppose I'll give it a shot.
Good afternoon. I'm Mai. Can I help you?
It's real!
So you mean to tell me that Mai was just standing in the doorframe with her tit hanging out just waiting for someone to show up and pinch her raisins? What if nobody showed up that day? All she would have to show for it is chapped nips. So after his spazzing out, Rockstar finally divulges his fears to Mai in an attempt to cure them, before he has to film a nude scene and become the laughingstock in such tabloid trash as Freud magazine. The first attempt is not promising.
Ha! Fooled you. I had another pair on underneath. It's actually a G-string. Oh, my! I've heard of breaking out in hives, but this is ridiculous.
I don't know either, guys. I have no idea what this is in reference to, and its placement here is both fascinating and upsetting to me. And what's more, this is pretty much everything that happens in the episode. Yup, Mai just tries to cure him again by literally forcing his hand and tricking him into thinking she called the Paps about his condition. Turns out he'd rather feel up Mai to look for the key to unlock himself from her than tempt ruination, and that does the trick. For a while at least, and that's how the episode ends. The anime is structured very weirdly, with an A story and a B story, with the B story being about half as long as the A story. And the second episode begins with the B story. So yeah, remember that sick woman the first episode started with? Yeah, she's still sick and waiting for Vega to come and save her. I know this whole setup is a joke, but it just comes off as clumsy and not worth it. The best way this could have ended for a laugh was how it did end in the first episode. And yet here we are to drag this out even further. A recurring theme for this particular episode, and you'll soon see how. But for now, let's just find out what's ailing this poor woman. And luckily for her, a faith healer from out of nowhere arrives to do just that.
Oh my! There's no doubt that this girl is possessed!
You mean she's really possessed?
Of course not, Granny. Just because she said that she's possessed doesn't mean she's possessed. Idiot. Apparently, in this universe, in order to exorcise a demon, you have to strip down to your bare skivvies, which would have made the exorcist a whole lot more awkward. And speaking of awkward...
Come out! I command you!
As you wish. I am Satan.
He's such a hunk. Will you marry me?
No, I don't mean that out-of-nowhere marriage proposal. I mean the fact that Satan has been possessing this girl for what the anime says has been 6 months, and all he's been doing is lie in bed. What in the world was Satan's plan? Did he just need half a year off from running hell to recharge his batteries, so he just possessed this girl to get away from the daily grind? Or is this like a Dogma situation where he just wanted to play some skee-ball? Alas, no answers were given, for in comes Mai and Vega to actually banish Satan, with a crucifix bikini and a minigun.
Prepare to die, Satan.
Okay. A lot of this is shit, but every once in a while, the anime throws the audience a bone in the form of a weird one-liner that you can only just laugh at. And for that reason alone, I find myself kind of liking My Mai. Until this episode's A story starts. With Satan finally banished, Mai decides to go to the beach with her girlfriends, Me and I. Get it? Their beach vacation is ruined when the three decide to stay for the night at a bed and breakfast, but come to find out that it's haunted and things get real spoopy, guys! Too spoopy for them, anyway. Up until now, the series has been goofy, but likable in a weird way, but it ends on such a thud of an episode. It's just not funny in any way. The girls are tormented by the spirits, but it turns out that it's all just a ruse pulled off by the 3 grannies that run the B&B. So the entire episode revolves around the girls getting scared, and them in turn scaring the grannies. There's also a kid that turns out to be a ghost that presses the 3 girls into doing all of this, but he's barely window dressing if that, and is only here for a shock twist that you can see coming like an asteroid hitting Earth. Not only is this all not funny, it winds up repeating itself with the whole scaring the grannies right back, sometimes using the exact same scaring method that they used on the girls. So it's like watching the same unfunny episode twice! And that's how the series ends. Really disheartening way to close out an anime that is so unlike what the box promised us. What looked like a dumb, raunchy comedy turned out to be, well, a dumb, raunchy comedy, but one that's actually funny. Sure, a lot of the time you're laughing at the anime instead of with it, but there are times when the show is legitimately laugh-worthy. And considering the dearth of actually good anime comedies I've covered over the years, any chance to laugh is welcomed with open arms. I suppose you could take this to mean that it benefits from being graded on a curve, but then again, having a basis of comparison is a natural means by which we inform ourselves of what we find funny. If it just weren't for that ending, I'd be able to give a more resounding endorsement, but as is, it's a good reminder that sometimes comedy needs to go where the laugh is, no matter what. But this anime got me to thinking, is there a raunchy comedy in anime that's good all the way through? Well, of course there is. You just have to get through its baggage. Till next time. Long live your Lord High Regent Sage! Long live Benetopia!